There is a financial mistake so common in America that 78% of people make it, and most of them have no idea it happened. It is not credit card debt. It is not overspending. It is not even bad investing. It is something much simpler, something so obvious that nobody talks about, something that costs the average American over $500,000 in lifetime earnings and they never even realized it happened. Let me show you what it is. The mistake is this: you started working too late. That is it. That is the entire mistake. You could have started building wealth years earlier, but you did not, and that single decision costs you everything. Here's the math that will make you sick. You start your career at 22 years old. You work until 65. That's 43 years of work. Over that time, you earn $2.5 million. Pretty good, right? But what if you had started at 18 instead of 22? Just 4 extra years, 4 years of early career earnings invested into index funds at 10% average returns. 4 years compounds over 47 years instead of 43 years. That 4-year head start turns into an extra $500,000 by retirement. $500,000 from starting 4 years earlier. But most people do not start at 18. They go to college, they party, they figure themselves out. Then they finally start their career at 22 or 23 or even 25. Every single year you wait costs you 6 figures in lifetime wealth. And here's what makes it even worse. You don't feel it while it's happening. At 22, you feel like you have your whole life ahead of you. You feel like you have time. You don't feel the cost until you're 55 years old and you realize you should have $2 million, but you only have $1.5 million, and it's too late to go back and get those 4 years back. This is why 78% of Americans make this mistake and never even realize it, because the cost is invisible, because time moves too slowly to feel it, because by the time you understand what happened, you cannot undo it. The average American does not start thinking about their financial future until they're 35 years old. 35. By then, they've already lost 13 years of compounding, 13 years of wealth building that can never be recovered. And for what? For what did they wait 13 years? To figure out what they wanted to do with their life? They could have been figuring that out while building wealth at the same time. The richest people you'll never meet started thinking about money at 15, not because they were obsessed, but because they understood one simple thing. Time is your most valuable asset, and it cannot be bought back. By the time most people start investing, they've already lost half their lifetime wealth building potential. The math is that simple. Here's another way to think about it. If you invest $200 a month starting at age 18 for 47 years at 10% returns, you end up with $1.8 million. If you wait until 25 and invest $400 a month for 40 years at the same 10% returns, you end up with $1.2 million. You're putting in double the money, but you end up with $600,000 less because you started 7 years late. This is the cruel reality of compound interest. It rewards starting early. It punishes waiting. There is no middle ground. And the worst part, most people don't even know they made this mistake. They think the problem is that they don't earn enough money. They think the problem is that they're bad at investing. They think the problem is that they got unlucky. But the real problem was simple. They started too late. The average American makes $50,000 a year for 43 years. That's $2.15 million in gross income, but they retire with less than $50,000 saved. Where did all that money go? Most of it went to taxes and living expenses, but a significant portion of it went to waiting, to delaying, to thinking they had more time than they actually did. If you're reading this right now and you're under 25, you still have time. You can still recover from this mistake by starting immediately, not tomorrow, not next month, tonight. If you're over 35, you've already made this mistake and you cannot undo it, but you can at least stop making it worse by waiting even longer to start. The question is not whether you can afford to invest. The question is whether you can afford not to, because the cost of waiting is not a number you see in your bank account. The cost of waiting is a number you'll never see in your bank account. It's the $500,000 that never showed up, the wealth that never compounded, the future you stole from your older self by waiting. Don't be part of the 78%. Start today. Even if it's just $50, even if it's just $10, start. Because the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today.